So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with this was no shade to men. This post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men. I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone, and you just want your own space, and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women, that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. And we're also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence. And that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you. So if you're going to go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested. And then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know? Like just coming up to women with a calm energy and not giving off this like needy energy or this like pushy energy. I think that is what women don't like. I think it's really sweet and cute to be approached in person. And I know that there's a lot of women like me. There's probably some women out there who don't want to be approached, and that's fine. And it's hard to tell who's who. But I think you can tell when you go up to a girl kind of right away if she'd be interested or not based on her body language, and just be calm and natural and don't overthink it. You know, I know that's easier said than done. I've only gone up to a man once in my whole life, but I think that might help. I don't know. I think I'm just someone who's very interested in people interacting with each other and having experiences and building community. And I think the world is growing more and more introverted and people are on their phones more. And I just think it's beautiful to meet people out and in person. And I just don't want to lose that as a humanity.
Stop it. Get some help.
I can guarantee you that the guy who ever approached her in life doesn't fall into the weird category. Because we all know that if you're an 8, 9, or 10 in looks and status as a man, and you approach a woman, even if you're awkward, they'll call you shy, but they'll still accept you. But if you're a 1, 2, or 3 on that scale, even if you come with confidence, they'll mock you or call you weird, even a creep. Because when you're good looking, it's a compliment. When you're not, it's harassment. That's the difference. That's how equality works in 2025. Only those at the top get to play. The rest don't even bother anymore.
Better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Oh my God. Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Hey, babe.
Yeah,
Why don't men ever make the first move anymore?
because women want to be men.
No, they don't.
Well, you're so hyper-focused on being a man that men don't want to approach you anymore. It's gross. Men don't care about your independence or high-flying status. We want peace, not chaos that you bring with competition of trying to be better than what we are. We don't offer any value to you anymore if you can have whatever it is that you want. So, if you want to be approached by a man, then you need to learn how to be a woman.
Brother, what women are experiencing now is simple. They're frustrated because they're reaping what they sowed. They spent years attacking men in every space, on TV, on social media, in the streets, demonizing us just for existing or daring to talk to them. They made up ridiculous rules where, like in Australia, if you approach a woman, she can report you. And if you go on a date, you risk being shamed on TikTok. The result? Men don't approach anymore. They're done playing the game. And why is that? Because today's woman stopped being feminine and cordial. Now they compete with men, try to be just as or even more masculine, and try to sell us independence like it's attractive. But the truth is, no valuable man is looking for a rival. He's looking for a partner, someone who brings peace, not competition or drama. And when are they kind? Only when the guy fits this 666 of the beast, 6 feet tall, 6 figures, and a six-pack. For those guys, there are always smiles and openness. For the rest, it's nothing but complaints and contempt.
Women.
If you go out and you are receiving non-stop attention, you need to go home and change. You look cheap and you look easy. I'm going to tell you the most counterintuitive thing you've ever heard. And I know it makes no sense, but hear me out. Hear me out. When you do go out with friends or on dates or whatever the case may be, and barely any men come up to you, few once in a while, whatever, that's how you know you did it right. You need to look expensive. You need to look like, if you are going to approach me, am I in your price range? Because this hoo-ha ain't cheap. And here's a tip to do it. Pick one asset and show that. So it's either your boobs, your butt, your legs, your back. Show no more than that. Men like a little mystery. If you show everything, what do they need you for? They can see every little curve on your body. They've seen it. What's to do? Pick one body part and accentuate that. So if you go out and you're feeling so good and every man at that bar is hitting on you, girl, go home. Nothing good will come of it. And the men who do hit on you are trash. You look easy as fuck. I know that's harsh, but mommy's here to help you. I love you.
Honestly, these are the kinds of advice that really make men lose interest. It makes me laugh when women call men misogynists. But here we have a woman talking to another about how to be a product. You have to make the man see if he can afford you, like he's shopping for a car at the very least. Instead of saying, dress with elegance, be kind, turn men down politely, smile. Things that actually attract a man, they push the idea of dress like a streetwalker. And when a man approaches you, make sure he can foot the bill. But we're the misogynists.
Men are not approaching women because they're afraid of the woman calling him a freak or weird or creep or threatening, when he is probably, in most cases, just trying to have a simple interaction and get her number or start a conversation. But I've seen so many TikToks where a woman will go viral for telling a story about how a man came up to her and said something very normal, but she calls him a freak and calls him weird or threatening or whatnot, probably because she just didn't find him attractive. But at the same time that's happening, women really want men to make the first move because they want an assertive man who's brave enough to come talk to a stranger. So I totally understand both perspectives, but they clash. So what do we do about this scenario? No one's talking to anyone. No one's getting any numbers. What do we do?
Hey, bro.
What?
Oh, my God!
The first thing is that men aren't afraid of rejection. Men are afraid of being reported for harassment. Men are afraid of being publicly shamed on TikTok. Men are afraid of being dragged into a scene just for saying hi. Because in the past, men used to get rejected hundreds of times, and it was no big deal. They kept trying. That was normal. But now, when rejection can come with consequences far worse than just a simple no, of course men protect themselves. That's why so many turn to dating apps. That's why a lot of men don't show that same confidence anymore. They'd rather just hang out with their friends, like in the intro video, and not even look at women.
Stop approaching women you know you cannot afford. You already see the woman's lifestyle. You see how she's living.
So if she's already living that lifestyle all on her own, what exactly is the issue?
You know you can't afford it. Now when she asks you for money to upkeep the lifestyle that she's already living.
Wait. What exactly are these women in these scenarios doing? Why would they be asking men for money in the first place? I thought these women were strong and independent and could do things all on their own. And obviously they've been maintaining their lifestyles beforehand. But yet they would ask men for money while they're dating. That's why they're giving the impression that some women aren't as strong and independent as they want everyone else to think that they are. It's either that or they just view men as walking ATMs. So which one is it?
You want to get an attitude. Go be with your type. She's not your type.
Right. They should be with their type, shouldn't they? The type of women that actually want a relationship and don't view men as just a means to an end.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Look at the kind of women out there. If any woman is watching this video and she's a mother, she should know. It's not that her son wants to stay single. This is the kind of woman he's running into. Women who don't have their own money but expect a 20-year-old guy to fund their lifestyle. The worst part is the hypocrisy. They go on and on about independence, but as soon as they meet someone, they start asking for money to support a lifestyle they can't even afford themselves. So much for being self-sufficient. They just see men as ATMs. And of course, every single one of them thinks she's a 10. But the wall is always waiting to give them their dose of reality. Because the wall never forgives.
Guys do not approach you at the bar not because you're not pretty, but it's because of this. I've been going to the bars every weekend with my friends, maybe for the past couple months, and I love it. I love socializing, and I'm single. And my friend and I were talking at the bar the other weekend, and we were talking about how we've never been approached by a single guy before. Like, maybe ever, which is just insane to think about. Like, I can name a couple occurrences where they have, but it was like, people from Europe, and they're like a different breed of people, okay? So I feel like the culture in America is way different. Guys do not want to approach you, not because of how pretty you are or how you look, but it's really because they're scared of you. And then us women over here who are single are thinking like, we look amazing, we did our makeup, we chose the perfect outfit. Why aren't all these guys coming up to us? Even if we're not into them, why don't they just come up just to like make us feel good about ourselves? Okay, now I want you to think of the perspective of a guy. I'll never know what's in a man's head, but I have a pretty good idea from like my guy friends and going out a lot. Guys are intimidated by you, okay? They don't all have that courage or charisma or just bravery to go up to you like you have to somebody else. And on top of just being intimidated by going up to a stranger in general, you're probably surrounded by a big group of friends. And even worse if you're surrounded by your guy friends, because they're going to assume that you're dating one of them, and no one wants to go up to a girl who's surrounded by a bunch of guys, okay? It's just a cock block. So now you're probably thinking, okay, we have this information, but what do we do with it? First off, I don't really think bars are the best place to really find a relationship. It's great to meet people, have fun, really get to know other people. But if you're putting all your eggs in one basket and really putting so much pressure on finding a guy that will take you seriously, it's going to be very hard. The other thing is that we always make fun of dating apps a lot, but I think the percentage is something like 60% of people now meet their significant other on the internet. Because people don't go up to other people anymore because they know they can meet you on a dating app. It's so much easier. This past Saturday, I literally went up to a group of guys and was like, do you want to play cards? I wasn't attracted to any of them, but I'm so happy I did it because I made a new group of friends and it was so much fun. And initially I thought that they weren't that fun. Like they just seemed like they were like moping around. They all had RBFs, like whatever. And I went up to them and they ended up being the funniest group of guys ever. And I'm sure a lot of guys think of you that way too. You might have like an RBF or just you don't seem approachable. But little do they know how you really are. So the takeaway from this video is that guys not coming up to you out in public says nothing about you. You can literally be like Gigi Hadid and a guy's still not going to come up to you. Guys are intimidated and it takes so much courage to go up to a girl. And a lot of guys are cheap and just don't want to buy you a drink and they're scared of getting used for a drink, which kind of sucks, but I understand. So do not weigh your worth in whether or not people come up to you because you are probably way more stunning and people are probably way more attracted to you than you think they are.
The delusion of an attractive woman. Like I said, men aren't afraid to approach. It's just that nowadays, all these women have a TikTok account to talk about men. If they have a good date, it goes online. If they have a bad date, it goes online. If you, as a man, had any issue with them, guess what? Where's that story going? Straight to social media. We see it daily in my videos. Women sharing their private lives with men online. But somehow, according to them, men are the misogynists. Men are tired of it. Tired of approaching with kindness and getting everything but kindness in return. That's why they'd rather drink with their friends, ignore women, and enjoy a peaceful night. It's sad, but that's what dating looks like in 2025.
Why'd you tell your dad I was cheating on him, Leilani? That ain't your business, and it damn sure ain't your place as a child.
First of all,
Look, girl, who are you talking to?
First of all, you're making it my business by taking me to the guy's house that you're cheating on my dad with.
You should be mad at yourself, not her. You cheated with an audience and then caught an attitude when she gave the recap. Girl, this ain't no Lifetime movie. Kids talk. You made her witness, and now you crying on the stand.
You are a married woman, and I'm just a child, and I'm still more lawyer than you are.
Little girl, you are punished. Don't touch no games. Don't touch no...
It's me when you cheated on my dad.
Sis, the only thing that needs to be punished is your choices. That little girl just handed her mama the truth like a hot plate, and now mama mad she got burned.
If you cheat on my dad again, then I'm going to tell him again. Oh, wait, there won't be no again. He's divorcing you.
Not the little girl issuing the final verdict, and the mama just sat there like her Wi-Fi disconnected mid-scandal.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
What kind of nerve is this? The woman is the one breaking up the home, and on top of that, she dares to scold her daughter for having more morals than she does. It's because of things like this that we say responsibility is kryptonite for women. Because they never take accountability for their actions. They don't care about the pain they cause. That girl is old enough to understand what's going on. Watching her mother take her to another man's house, probably telling her stay on the phone while I go sleep with him. Of course it's going to make her angry, especially if it involves her father. You know what's most shameful? That it's the daughter who has to remind the mother that she's a married woman. And the worst part is that instead of owning up to her actions, the mother wants to punish the daughter for telling the truth.
I want to use this comment to point out how messed up we are in the way we date. Hey, so I'm single and I'm looking for somebody. Oh, like a hookup or a relationship? A relationship, you know, like my long-term partner, baby daddy, husband. Oh, so you're probably going to want to know who that person is before you pick them to make sure, you know, they're decent and who you're looking for, right? Oh no, that's extreme. I'm going to kiss a stranger and hope they're what I'm looking for. Is that what you mean? Because that's exactly what you guys are doing. And make no mistake, I did that too, which is how I ended up with the abusive guy and the cheaters. The thing is, anybody who says waiting 3 months for a first kiss when you've just met somebody, but you're looking for somebody who's going to stick around for the next 50 to 70 years is extreme. You gotta wonder what's going on in our culture. And I've asked those questions. And the answer is we're following the guys' timeline. Guys who have 24/7 fertility cycles. And they've brainwashed us into thinking that if we don't kiss right away, they're going to walk away and we're going to miss an opportunity to have a relationship. But the fact is, the ones who walk away weren't the ones looking for a relationship. They were the ones looking for somebody. Somebody. I'm not looking for the guy looking for somebody. I'm looking for the man who's looking for me. So if you don't want to get to know me, please keep walking. If you're selfish, impatient, immature, and lack impulse control, keep walking. If you don't care to get to know who I am, keep walking. If you think 3 months is too long to kiss me and have sex with me, but you're trying to tell me you're going to stick around for 7 years, bullshit, motherfucker, keep walking. Smart women are no longer doing the kiss to see where it goes. They're no longer blindly falling into a relationship and hoping this is the decent one. Smart women are seeing where it goes, giving a time and space boundary, no kissing, no sleepovers for 3 months, and seeing who stands out above the crowd. Which one is consistent? Thoughtful, caring, patient, hardworking, conscientious, shows up. All the rest? Goodbye, motherfucker. We're vetting now. We're not just blindly falling into a relationship. You gotta show us who you are.
I think this depends on the man's level of interest. If he wants something serious with you, if he's truly into you as a woman, then he'll wait. Now, many women claim they do this to earn respect, but others use it to keep a man stuck in some kind of friend zone. The result? You spend months, money, and energy, and before you know it, she ends up with a guy who didn't lift a finger but does make her feel desire. That's why if you see you're the only one investing and never getting anything real in return, set a limit right away. A man who respects himself values his time and his wallet. If she's not showing genuine interest, get out before she drains you dry.
I'm glad you decided to go out with me.
I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, get whatever you want.
Okay, green flag alert. We love a real gentleman and a man with confidence.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh, that was good, huh?
So good. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right, cool. So you had the salad, you had the steak, you got the cookies too, right?
Not him saying get whatever you want, like he had it like that, and then turning into a whole goddamn bill collector.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything is cool. So your half of this is 3763. 3763 is what yours came up to.
Girl, next time, make sure you ask, does get whatever you want comes with terms and conditions? Because obviously this man love language is itemized receipts.
Are you serious?
What?
You invited me.
I know,
and you
but
want me to pay?
You ordered.
Okay. I'll pay for it. How much is it? Okay. I got it. I'll pay for both.
Cool. Even better.
But don't call me again.
Oh, she shut that down real smooth. Paid the whole bill and dismissed him like a pop-up ad. I got it, and I'm gone. Love that for her.
Oh, hell no!
I'm going to be honest about this. When I invite a woman on a first date, I pay because I believe the man should cover the first date. Now, I'm not a fool. The first date is just coffee. If a woman turns down the invitation because it's not expensive enough, I immediately lose interest. That already tells me everything I need to know about her intentions. Now, if there's a second or third date, I do expect the woman to contribute in some way, even if it's just the gesture of offering to pay for something or splitting the bill. A man who makes her pay for everything, he's either a Chad, who knows he can, or he's just out for a free meal.
So yeah, I'm 53, completely single by choice, and also no children by choice. Love my life, have incredible friends, and travel is the secret to my happiness. I do not wait around for some man to show up to travel with me or to explore places with me. I do it on my own and have so much fun, and usually take friends with me, meet friends wherever I go. It's the secret to my personal happiness. So if you're out there whining and complaining that you can't find a guy and your life is not worth living, then you better knock it off and rethink the way you're living your life, because you got one shot, babies. So have fun and enjoy it while you can, single or not.
When the pandemic hit, these were the first ones to break down. The liberated women who swore that being single was freedom, only to end up talking to the walls. So alone, even the midday sun looks crowded in comparison. This 53-year-old woman travels alone and says it's by choice. But we all know that if she had a solid partner, she wouldn't be recording monologues trying to convince herself her life is perfect. She claims she doesn't wait for anyone to travel, that she has friends everywhere. So why does her tone sound so defensive? Because emptiness hides behind empowerment. And yes, the wall hit a long time ago, and now there are no single friends left to travel with. They all started families, and she's still clinging to the narrative that there's still time. It's always the same. Lots of laughter in front of the camera, but tears in silence. Because no matter how loud they claim they're happy, the truth is they no longer have anyone to share even the airplane seat with. And as we all know, time shows no mercy, and neither does the wall.
I am going to tell you how to make him obsessed with you. Use it carefully, but I'm going to tell you. Number one, be the prize, not the pursuer. The minute you start chasing, you shift into masculine energy. Men don't value what is handed to them. They value what they perceive as high status or slightly out of reach. Instead of proving yourself to him, let him prove himself to you. He's the one applying for the role and not the other way around. Imagine walking into a luxury boutique versus a discount store. In the boutique, you don't just grab things, run around and rummage everything around. Be the boutique, not the discount store. You understand the perceived value? Number two, give him something to miss. If he always knows where you are, what you're doing, and who you're doing it with, and how you feel about him, there is no mystery. Distance creates desire. Whether it's physical space or emotional restraint, leave some things unsaid. Zip your mouth. Instead of texting every detail of your day, just say, I can't wait to see you, and leave room for curiosity. When you see a trailer of a movie, you don't just want to know what happens in the movie, you want to watch the full movie. Let the movie develop. Number three, be the woman he feels lucky to have. Men get hooked on perceived value. This isn't about being hot. It's about being the kind of woman he admires and has respect for. Have standards. A man always treats you at the level you accept. Test. If you stop putting in effort tomorrow, does he step up or does he fade away? A man who values you will chase harder and not get lazy. Number four, make him feel like a man. Men fell in love with the way they feel around you. Ask for help even if you don't need it. Give him a role to play, protector, provider, problem solver. They thrive off that. He wants to be the superhero. When he does something for you, show real excitement. Not fake, over-the-top stuff, but genuine feminine appreciation. Be like, oh my God, how did you know? That was exactly the thing I needed, blah, blah, blah. Number five, have a life outside of him. If you make him the center of your world, baby, he'll take that for granted. High value men don't want a woman who's just sitting around waiting for his attention. Be busy, have hobbies, go out with your friends, let him see you thriving without him. That is the most important thing. Text him something like, can't text much today. My schedule's super packed, but can't wait to see you tonight.
Stop it. Get some help.
This whole, be the prize, let him do all the work. You just sit back and receive. Mindset is the perfect recipe for ending up alone and bitter. The woman pushing that narrative today doesn't realize times have changed. No man of real value is going to stick around where he's only being demanded from, but never supported. The modern man has no time for inflated egos or begging for attention. If all you focus on is what you can get and never talk about what you bring to the table, you'll only attract losers, or men who'll use you and leave. Want to keep a high-value man? Bring something real. Be a compliment, not a burden. If all you offer is ego, entitlement, and an empty, I'm worth so much speech, but you don't give peace, support, or partnership, get ready, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Women.
I cannot believe that I let somebody abuse me for 3 years. And I'm crying because I'm just so happy. I know it sounds crazy, but for the first time in, oh my God, almost 4 years, I can feel my heart getting put back together, from all the pain, because I finally decided to leave. I finally decided, I did not deserve to be treated like that at all. And it's just so crazy because I did not think I was going to get to this point. It's so hard to trust God in the midst of so much pain. But oh my God, it's so, I can't even explain it. I'm crying because I'm just so excited. But I was driving this morning and I could literally feel, my heart being put back together, stitched back together. It's such a wild concept, but it's wow, God really does have a plan and he knows the answer, and it is going to work out day by day. It's just takes a little bit longer than you want it to, but it's just, oh my God, anybody that is struggling and their partner is not making the effort and showing them unconditional love, leave, because you are going to be so much happier without that person, because it's not normal to be with somebody who doesn't make you a better person, who doesn't make you enjoy life. That's what having a partner is. But I'd share that with you because it's exciting, it's growth, and a lot of people have followed me on my divorce journey on here. So yeah, just wanted to share.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
There are women who believe that a relationship is supposed to make them happy all the time. Literally. as if the guy were some kind of daily entertainment show. But no one tells you this. Happiness is an individual responsibility, and if you don't know how to give yourself peace, no man is going to fill that void. That childish mindset of "he has to make me happy" is what destroys relationships and leads to divorces that they themselves cause, and then they don't understand why they end up alone. And the worst part isn't that they separate, it's what they do afterward. They turn the entire relationship into content. Every argument, every intimate moment, every crisis, straight to TikTok. And of course, they always tell the story as if they were perfect wives, misunderstood saints, when in many cases it was the man who lived through hell in silence, holding on for the kids or out of respect.
A narcissist is always going to make your reaction the problem bigger than the actual problem itself. I will give you a example. My ex-husband used to talk to multiple women on Instagram, texting, you name it. We used to hit up multiple women. Anyways, I would catch him and then I would obviously flip because I was so upset that he would do that to me. And then he would always be like, "You're crazy, you're this, you're that." But then he would do it again. We'd fix things. Not even a day later, catch him. "Hey, babe, can I look at your phone?" It builds trust. No, he literally wrestled me for his phone. I should have known then and there, after about 20 wrestling sessions, probably shouldn't have been married to the loser. Anywho, but you need to be careful because it literally will get in your head. And what I mean by that, I remember before I actually filed for divorce, I was sitting with my parents and I was like, "I'm the problem. Like, I yell at him." He deserved to be yelled at. Like, he's a liar and a cheater and a user. Yeah, and a user more than one way, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so if you're with a narcissist like that, you're really not the problem. They just convince you that you are, but you're really not. There's nothing wrong with being upset that your husband cheats on you. Like, just leave his ass. Don't do what I do and try to make excuses up and think that you're the problem, because you're not. If he wanted to be married to you, then he would act like it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Remember, when a woman tells the story, every man ends up being the bad guy. What she won't mention is that she never let him see her phone or that she was overweight. Now she suddenly wants to make an effort and try. Look at her attitude. Do you really think she's easy to live with? If her own father, told her she was the problem, how can you blame the guy? But of course, when he leaves her for a woman who actually treats him with respect, now he's the narcissist, the toxic one. But if it were the other way around, if she were the one leaving him, then the narrative would be totally different. I deserve to be happy. He wasn't fulfilling me anymore. I want to find myself. Always the same script. Remember, fellas, the only one who's allowed to walk away from a relationship without being judged is the woman.
This is too good not to share. Okay, so it's 4 in the morning. I'm, oh my God, I'm the ugliest crier, but it's 4 in the morning. I'm in bed and I literally, everybody knows that, like, I'm going through a divorce, but I've been so happy like the past like 2 weeks. Like, God is stitching my life back together. Like, everything is starting to come back together and I'm like genuinely the happiest I've been in so long. Well, I'm like sleeping and I just ask God, I'm like, "God, I need your comfort because it gets so lonely." And I could literally feel, I am not even exaggerating, I could literally feel hands as I was sleeping around me. Like, it's like supernatural and crazy. I know it sounds wild, but it was just too good not to share. And I could feel, even around my like feet, I felt like there were hands, like a weighted blanket, but in a good sense, like a safety net. And it was just too good not to share. It's just crazy because when you think you're not going to make it through, you will make it through. I literally get hundreds of messages from women being like, "How do I leave my husband? He's a narcissist. He cheats on me. He beats me. He's a drug addict. You name it." I literally had to give it to God because what God has for you is so much better. I know I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying? Like does get lonely, but I am not alone, you know? And like what you want is on the other side of fear. But I just had to share it with you because it was just crazy. Like, I literally could feel arms around me like all night long. Just so good. So yeah.
Stepping a bit off topic, it's honestly night and day seeing a woman with makeup and then without it. I swear, she looked like she aged 10 years. Now, wasn't she saying the guy hit her? cheated on her, treated her badly. So why is she crying over him like he was the love of her life? That's the part they never tell you. They choose the man who breaks their heart, and then you're supposed to feel sorry for the consequences of their own decisions. And of course, that's assuming any of it is even true. Because don't forget, she's a content creator. Everything she says is edited, cut, and tailored to make sure you side with her. But if you watch the intro to the video, you already know she's far from miserable, and later on, you'll see exactly what she's spending her time on now.
Women.
So many of you know that I'm going through a high conflict divorce of 22 years of marriage. And last night I went through a pretty traumatic experience where my husband decided to break into my home at 3:30 in the morning while I was sleeping. And then today, well, last night technically, I filed a restraining order against him, which is something I didn't want to do, but I feel like I didn't have a choice because, according to my lawyer, that now he can no longer control me with finances. He's going to control me in other ways. And then she just felt like this is already writing your ending, basically. So if you don't get some sort of court order protection, the next thing he'll have control over is taking your... So I didn't have a choice. So today is not a good day. I feel terrible about all of it. I just want a peaceful divorce. I just want to move on with my life. And it just seems like every step I get closer, it just drags me back down. So, I just wanted to give a quick update. I haven't even brushed my hair. I haven't done anything, so. But I just want to give that little bit of update.
Damn!
One of the worst things a woman can do is mess with a man's ego. I covered this case a while back. Her video is still on the channel. And I remember how happy she looked, how she mocked that man after the judge granted her access to his money. She was thrilled, bragging about everything she was going to take from him. The worst part is the videos. When you're going through a divorce, mocking your husband, exposing private details, comparing him to other men you're dating, and then laughing about leaving him bankrupt, that comes with consequences. I'm not defending what this man did. What he did was wrong. And as a man, I would never recommend anything like that. But you also can't ignore the responsibility of a woman who makes videos just to mock her ex, hiding behind some fake healing journey. That's not right. I'll say it again, don't play with a man's ego.
I am on my way to Home Depot to act confused in the lumber section because I need to find a date to a wedding in the next 7 days. I refuse to go to another wedding without a +1, so I'm going to go act lost. It shouldn't be hard. I'm not one with Home Depot. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I don't really give a I'm bound to meet a stud in the lumber section. I feel like the light bulbs is where like the married men hang out, so I'm going to stay far away from the light section. Maybe power tools. I'll let you guys know how it goes, but my goal is to at least walk out with 2 numbers. I'll be fine.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
How do you go from having a divine revelation from God, from eternal suffering, from such deep pain, to going out and looking for men at Home Depot? You can't make this stuff up, brothers. She talks about all her suffering, and now she's out here trying to pick up a man at a store. And then these are the same women who say they were unhappy, that they left the devil himself. The truth is, accountability is kryptonite for women. It's because of things like this that I don't buy any of that so-called suffering. She claimed she was dying inside, and somehow bounced back overnight. Brothers, be selfish with your own happiness, because she won't think twice about leaving you. For a guy from Home Depot.
Story time. I'm officially dating and getting to know an older man. And when I tell you, life has been so different, but for the better. For the better. So let me tell you, if you've never dated an older man, what it is like, what you can expect, and how you should be moving. Number one, I've realized that older men don't play games. They're not going to do oh, let me text you back 2 days from now and let me play like all that bullshit hard to get, acting like a little man child diva thing. They ain't doing none of that. They need your authentic self to come out from the get-go. Okay? They like you to be yourself. They're going to ask you the hard questions. They're going to pay attention to how you truly are. They're going to ask you about your past, your present, and what your future goals are and make sure that they align. All right? The same way how a lot of us women, we need to ask the questions to make sure that a man aligns with us, they also doing that work to make sure you align with them. Okay. So you have to be honest. You have to be forthcoming. You have to be real because they're going to see through your BS. And I will say it's the first time in my life I feel an immense amount of respect for a man that I'm getting to know. And I understand everyone's different. There's people that are older that are still children inside. There are people that are younger that are super wise and have tons of life experience. But I will say this, the man that I'm getting to know, he's just amazing. He's amazing. He's warm and kind and real and funny and cool and swaggy, and that's a lot. So I'm saying, sis, if you don't know how to meet older men, let me know if I should make a series on this. But I will say this might be the life hack that I've never tried before that actually might be changing everything for me for the better. And the funny thing is, too, one of my exes told me that I should be dating an older man. I'm like, he manifested it for me. Thank you.
Hey, bro. What?
Oh my God!
Most of these young women are looking for something only an older man can offer: direction, character, and stability. A man in his 40s isn't guessing what to do with his life. He's already clear on it: money, work, purpose, and often property. That man doesn't improvise. He's the result, not a promise. And that's what attracts them: real security, not someday promises. Women, even if they won't admit it, don't want to build with you. They want to show up when everything is already built. That's why the mature man has the advantage. He knows how to filter, he knows his worth, and he doesn't waste time on nonsense. If she doesn't bring peace or comes in with the "I'm the prize" attitude, he takes her off the pedestal and moves on.
This is for my girlies that like to date older men. Listen up. Hey everyone, it's your favorite housewife, Izzy. So you like to date older men, mainly because they're established. Don't tell me that you like them for any other reasons, my love, because let me tell you something. A 27-year-old without clothes on does not look like a 57-year-old without clothes on, and you are not going to pick the 57 or 67-year-old without clothes on, giving me option. But whatever, we all did it. I did it for food for the better half of my 20s. I just want you to think about some things. It's great to date, and it's a lot of fun. But I need you to realize that you're in your 20s now, and he's in his 40s, maybe 50s. But when you're in your 40s, he's going to be in his 60s, maybe 70s. Some factors I need you to think about. Does he have kids? Are you going to be splitting the lot with the kids? How much does that leave you? Does he want more kids? Are your kids going to have to split the lot with his kids? Is there enough in that lot for the lifestyle you're living now and your future kids and his kids to live? Because he's going before you and you're going to still be young and have a lot of life to live. When you are 50, he is going to be 70 and you are essentially going to be slightly his nurse. When I look at some of my exes that were 20 years older than me now, I'm like, they're such old men, and I am a young woman. Now, I am not telling you not to date them and have a great time on their tab and make sure that they are investing in your future. What I am saying is, Is there really a reason to marry them if there's not a G5 and a giant yacht that's going to be left in your name?
The hypocrisy of women. When she was young, she was a gold digger who dated older men. She was probably one of those women always traveling, taking pictures in expensive places, but never showing the sponsor behind it all. Now that she's older and no longer in high demand, she criticizes the very same things she used to do. It's no lie that many are gold diggers, but a man would have to be a fool to marry a woman like that. You can date her, have kids if you want, enjoy the relationship, just don't marry her. A lot of women will accept that, because these days, a well-established man who offers stability is rarer than a beautiful woman. Believe me. So enjoy yourself and let these older women crash into the wall.
The family matter and the truth of the matter. Here was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
Do older men hit different? And let me tell you something. I'm not a seasoned vet in this. I've only dated one older man, and it is the older man that I'm dating now. I like to call him a seasoned gentleman. Okay. I would say yes. It's very different in a positive way. And it is due to the fact that he has learned from his past and he's used the knowledge that he's learned and actively worked on himself. He goes to therapy. He has 2 therapists. He is very ambitious, very honest, very authentic. He's very sure of himself and he is very in tune with himself. And because of those attributes, he's able to love and respect me in a beautiful and honest, authentic way. Now, do all men do this? No. People can live to 300 years old and never get to know themselves. People can be 5, 10, 15 years old and are authentically themselves and want to be better. So it's not necessarily just because of his age. It's a lot to do with who he is as a person. But I will say that probably on average, most men don't do that kind of work until they're older or until they realize they have to for whatever reason. So short answer, I'm going to say yes, it does hit different, but because of the man that I'm dating. That's on period.
I'm telling you this as a man. When you have direction, purpose, and self-respect, it doesn't matter if she's the most independent, empowered, or calls herself high value. A woman changes completely in front of a man who isn't afraid to lose her, who sets boundaries, and who protects his peace over any kind of drama. Feminine energy comes out naturally when she feels that if she doesn't bring something to the table, she'll be replaced without hesitation. It's not about mistreating anyone. It's about the fact that a woman knows perfectly well that a high-value man doesn't tolerate games, emotional blackmail, or disrespect. She knows that if she crosses the line, she's out. That's why she feels something different, because she's dealing with a man who already has a life, and it's her who has to adapt if she wants to be part of it.
Lately, I haven't been discriminating against like older or younger men. Like I've kind of been both teams. I sort of want to be somebody's mommy and like just be older than them. I think that would be kind of hot. But at the same time, I've always had a love for like an older person and just being like innocent and sweet and like small and young. And I think will choose the older man because I think it's so funny when they're like telling you a story like, oh yeah, back in my day, whenever we used to have like, you know, the CD player, portable CDs. And I'm like, what's that? What's a portable CD? And they're like, oh yeah, we used to put cassette tapes in our cars and get down to this. I'm like, what's a cassette? You're like so old. I've never even heard of that. What is that? Again, like, honestly, some of the things I actually have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. I'm like, I've never heard of that. I never had a MySpace, but like some people would just be like, oh my god, that was this shit, like LimeWire or whatever the fuck. Like, what the hell? I really don't know what that is, but I think it's so like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so young compared to you. Oh, shut up.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
At the very least, she might as well be dating your grandfather, Because there's a big difference between a man being 20 years older and him being 30 years older. I don't recommend immature women like this, even if you're just looking to have some fun. She doesn't date guys her age. She only goes for younger ones for obvious reasons, and much older men for their money. So when it's like that, I don't recommend her. If you're an older man too, look for a young woman with character, someone you feel good with, but not one who's juggling you with 5 others, because in that situation, you're the only one who's going to lose.
I'm dating someone 25 years older than me. Yeah, a age gap relationship. And let me tell you the pros and let me tell you the cons. Because, baby, which one outweighs the other? Honestly, I feel like I always knew I was going to be with someone much older than me. Okay, not much older, but older, okay? And basically, I think is more pros than cons. And that's why I'm in an age gap relationship. Pros are, I feel like they're more ready to settle down, which is good. You don't have to deal with a lot of drama. I'm drama a little bit myself, so we don't need like to clash. I feel like they're more patient too. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I feel like they're more patient with you versus someone my age. Like, I love that. It's also kind of fun because we're in totally separate generations, and it's just like so exciting because I can show him like my lifestyle and he shows me his, and it's just like so fun. Sometimes we don't agree with things because of our age gap, but that's okay. I feel like they're more mature. In most cases they are because they have wisdom and things like that, and they lived a while. So yeah, you can learn a lot from somebody that's much older than you, and I love that because I'm all here for learning new things. The cons are, honestly, it's not that bad. Like the stares in public, of course people stare because they're like, what's the dynamic of this relationship? They can't seem to figure it out. But yeah, the stares I'm kind of used to it now. Of course, family members not agreeing. My family, they accept him because they know who he is. He's a genuine, sweet guy, and I love that. It would be hard if my family didn't approve of him, but they do. Another con is sometimes, since I'm in a different generation, he doesn't get why I do certain things. It's just because, like, I was born into, like, the electronic social media type of stuff, and he really wasn't. So that's kind of like a conflict with like social media, but that's okay, we're working that out. But yeah, that's literally like all the cons that I can think of. Age gap relationships aren't bad, honestly. If you're thinking about being in an age gap, just do it. Like, who cares what other people think? Like, age is just a number. Until next time.
Brother, if there's no legal contract involved, then everyone should live their life as they see fit. That woman's not a child. She knows exactly what she's doing. She introduced you to her family. She likes you. She feels good with you. So there's nothing to criticize. Now, if you're the older man in this equation, don't be naive. Don't get married. Don't put anything in her name. Don't make the mistake of signing away your peace in exchange for company. Want to enjoy life? Do it. Want to be with a younger woman? Enjoy your win. You earned it. But be clear about one thing. A free union protects your freedom. The paper doesn't. You worked your whole life for your stability. Don't risk it all for a feeling. Enjoy yourself, but keep your eyes open. Love can be real, but the law doesn't forgive carelessness. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why are more and more women looking for older men? Why are older women upset that younger women are dating older men? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.